Okay, so let's begin. Thanks so much for joining today. Good morning to everyone. Okay, so right now we are looking into the state management in Flutter. Okay, so so far we have covered about stateful widgets. Okay, stateful widgets, and then within stateful widgets we use set state to set a state in Flutter, and, and then we have looked into the inherited widgets. Okay, in inherited widgets we have not actually set any state. Instead we have actually accessed some state. Okay, so I have demonstrated about the problem we have when you are actually passing some variables across these widgets. Okay, when you want to pass variables across widgets, like it actually creates so much of boilerplate code, and you have seen how you can avoid using inherited widgets. Okay, but however we are not actually going to use inherited widgets in our apps. Rather, we actually use inherited widgets that come from Flutter framework. Examples are media query, theme data, all this stuff. Okay, maybe like we have actually used media query in our examples. Theme data, you can actually look into the default app and you can find some references whenever you are using something like dot off and then giving some context, something like that. It means that you are actually using an inherited widget. This dot off, right, is something like they have given it like that. Okay, they have given a static name to a static method and called that OF off. Okay, nothing else. Okay, just to make it standardized across the framework. Okay, so whenever you are using off, possibly you are using an inherited widget. In the same way, you can create your own inherited widgets with off method. Okay, see, when you are writing an off method, it's not like a thumb rule you should use off method, or it's not like a system method. Okay, you are giving a method name off. Okay, instead you can give something else also. Okay, you can give inherited widget off. Okay, something like that. Rather than using a system keyword, you can actually use your own word also. Okay, but as per the Flutter framework, they have continued to give OF off for all the inherited widgets. That's why we are using off. Okay, so that helps readers to understand that you have actually used inherited widgets. Okay, so clear, right? So today what we are going to look into is provider. Okay, so when I say provider, you might be thinking like this. Okay, what exactly is this provider? How to use it? Like, looks like this is a very complicated topic. Okay, no, nothing like that. Okay, somebody created, like somebody has taken this inherited widgets concept and then developed some project around it so that you can access state in Flutter easily. Okay, access or change Flutter easily. See, we have discussed about set state in Flutter, right? And then inherited widgets and then provider. Provider exactly is similar to set state of, but uses concepts from inherited widgets. But does it mean that you need to have complete understanding about inherited widgets? No, not like that. Provider itself is a separate program which uses inherited widgets, which makes it easy for you to set state in your app rather than actually using the set state. Okay, so what exactly I mean is, we have different types of state management techniques in Flutter. Okay, then and there you will use your own, not your own, like whatever model you want to follow, you will use. For example, if you are going with set state, you will continuously use set state in your app. Okay, but you can actually have different state management techniques inside your app. But as a like in order to make things easy for you, if you are using set state, you will continue to use set state everywhere in your app. If you are going to use provider, you are going to use provider everywhere in the app. Okay, does it mean, like, so far I have discussed about set state, inherited widgets, provide, like now we are going to discuss about provider. Does it mean that I can use inherit widgets to set state in my app? No, because inherited widgets is more speaks about accessing the state rather than setting it. So inherited widgets is ruled out. That's why I was saying that you will not use that in your apps. Rather you will get some methods from Flutter framework itself, and you are going to use that in your apps. That's it. So now the choices we are having is, shall I go with set state or provider? Okay, there are two options now, but does state management ends here with only two options? No, there are number of other options also. As I said, block is something, block model. Okay, uh, and there are many other things, some like something like scope, block, redux. There are so many things, but what Google says is, Flutter is owned by Google, right? What Google says is, if you think that there is no proper reason for me to go to some other state management technique. For example, in Flutter community, they'll say that block is very easy, block is very good for state management. Okay, in Flutter community, people might be saying that, like, block is much better than provider, or block is better than set state. Okay, or scoped is better than block, redux is better than block. Okay, that's all about personal preference. Okay, what Google says is, unless you don't have a specific reason to go for particular state management technique like block or redux or scoped, you can stick to provider. Okay, so which makes things like provider is something which you should learn for sure. Okay, you might be you might think like, okay, we have set state, inherited widgets, provider, block, scope, redux. Okay, let me learn redux scoped and leave provider set state. No, not like that. Set state is the basic way of managing state in Flutter. Inherited widgets is about accessing state in Flutter. Okay, so we are not going to use inherited widgets for setting state. So provider, shall I learn provider, block or redux? Whether you learn block or redux or scoped models, you have to learn provider. Okay, that's the reason why I have included provider into our course. Okay, so as long as you learn about set state, inherited widgets and provider, you are very good. Okay, it doesn't matter whether you learn block or not, scoped or not, whether you know them or not, it doesn't matter. Okay, once the course is done, you can actually expand your knowledge across those stuff. Okay, and just like if you remember, we discussed about packages, right? Similar way, provider is also a package. As I said, provider is built around inherited widgets. Okay, provider is built around inherited widgets, so that whatever benefits that inherited widgets has offered, provider will be offering. Okay, so let me do this. So I went to pub.dev site. In my previous classes I mentioned that pub.dev is a site where you can find packages. Okay, packages are like plugins where you can connect them to your app and you can start using it. Okay, and then we have something called provider. So I just search for provider and then click enter. So I just opened this package. Okay, so you can see that who has written this provider, like -overflow.net. Okay, so but still, like, looks like this is written by some third party guys. Still, Google recommends like you should unless you don't have a reason to go for other state management techniques like block or scope or redux, provider is something which you should use. Okay, so that's why we are going to learn about provider. So as I said, in order to get provider into your app, you have to open the package, go to install, and then see what is the version, and then you have to add that into the pubspec.yaml file, and then we have to start using it. So in order to demonstrate today's stuff, I am going to create a project. Okay, so let me go here itself, go to view, command palette, Flutter new project, provider example 1. Okay, I have given some name, and then I am creating a project. So far clear guys, right? Why we are learning provider? Okay, because we can't actually set state using inherited widgets. Okay, that's why we need something else. If you don't know provider, what will happen is you have to stick with set state only. Okay, so inherited widgets is about accessing the state, but however someone from the Flutter community has came up with provider and Google backs it up. Okay, so the project is created, and I am just going to open the emulator. Okay, now let me run this and see if it is actually working fine or not. Okay, see, the reason why I actually run programs when I create a project is just to ensure that there are no issues with my Flutter setup. Okay, because like in background multiple things will be happening. Windows updates are happening, like software updates will be happening. Sometimes unknowingly we will update a Flutter itself. Okay, even though we know that, like whenever I have opened Flutter, it will say that do you want to update Flutter. Sometimes accidentally I may click some one or the other button, and then it will get updated. Okay, so and always it's a bad idea to stop when upgrade is happening. Okay, whether it is a Windows update or your Flutter update, whatever update it is, it's a very bad idea to stop the updates to happen. Okay, don't stop. Whenever you are updating something, don't stop it. Whenever an update is happening for your Windows laptop, don't disconnect the power. Okay, because you might need to like completely reinstall everything from the scratch. Okay, it might trigger issues like that. Okay, so right now as you can see that app is loaded and it is working fine. Okay, so as per this article, like I mean package, I am going to use this package in my app. Okay, so I'm just copying it. I need to go to spec.yaml file, and then I have to include it here, and then click save or get package. There will be get package button. If you're not running it, you will see this. Yeah, here get packages. Now the get package is done. So what I could do is I can go to debug console and actually see if there are any issues. Okay, no issues as of now. Okay, even the get packages has run fine, which means that this provider program is loaded somewhere into my machine and I am ready to use it. Okay, so let me go to main.dat file. Let me remove everything. Okay, so, and then I'm going to start writing a program which is going to use provider package. Before that itself, I'm going what I will usually do is I will create some basic skeleton. Okay, stateless widget, my app, resolve these issues, void main, okay, so let me reload this. And one more important thing is by the end of this example you will understand that you will be not using stateful widget anywhere in your app. Okay, and then still you will be able to change the state of your app. Like, I mean, whenever a button click happens, you will be able to see that that those kind of number increments, all these things will happen automatically without using a stateful widget in your app. Okay, so I have created a small app. So let me add a material app here. Home, scaffold, body, and then I am going to take a column, children, text of clicked dash times. Okay, see, I just put some dash over here, which means that I'm going to put some value over here. Okay, but right now it's not ready. I will leave it like dash, and then I'm going to add a button over here. Okay, let me create an empty function, and then okay, so there is something created here. Let me move this to center. Okay, so now I have a button which is having some text. So now, as part of this example, my target is to, whenever this button is clicked, the number should be incremented, and I should be using the provider model for this. Okay, so whenever I am using provider, okay, like it, whenever I think of using provider or some kind of state management techniques, the thing I should have in mind is, okay, let's not use stateful widget. Okay, wherever possible we should not use the stateful widget. Okay, we should go use the stateless widget and other ways of achieving it. Okay, so now what I will do is, give me a second. Okay, so now let me create a model over here. Model means a class that will have some sort of integer, strings and everything. Okay, in our case I will create a model which will have an integer. Okay, so class, okay, counter model, and then I'm going to give some integer over here. Okay, so and then I will create one function over here which will actually increment. Okay, so this is our basic class. Okay, basic class. In order to make it, like, in order to use this over here, okay, and then whenever this button clicked, I have to call some sort of function, right? Like I have to call this increment of. Okay, if I call this just increment of from here, what will happen is counter will get increased, but it will not show here. Okay, even if I write something like initiate counter model and try to access over here, it will not change anything. Okay, when the class is built, it will try to show there, but there is no way this whole widget will be rebuilt without using a set state. Okay, so now how we could use this provider is, I'm going to make this like, there are some sorts of keywords I could say. Okay, change notifier, okay, and then read, watch. Okay, change notifier, read, watch, and there will be some keywords, some more keywords which you will be coming across. For that you have to, like, there is no way, like, you don't have to actually memorize it. Once you have a working example with you, you can always refer to it and then use that in your actual project. Okay, so since this is a package, right, like provider itself is a package and I want to use that package in my app. So how I will actually use that is like this. Okay, so instead of, here we are calling my app, right, I will create another class, like another stateless widget, and I will call it something like my provider app. Okay, so this is done. Let me call this my provider app from here, so which is nothing. So if I restart it, nothing is being shown. What I will do is I will remove this and I will actually write some code over here which will pass this model to this class. Okay, so how I'll do that is, I can, if you go like these kind of things, right, you can actually go to the example and see how they have actually written. Okay, in pub.dev you can see that they actually have some example over here. My example might be slightly different from this, but we'll be doing almost the same thing. And here we have so much of other code also, which might be difficult for you to understand, so that I usually avoid such things. Okay, so they say that this is how you could use it. Okay, like by using multi-provider, blah blah blah. Okay, let me minimize this. What I will do is I will write multi-provider of, and then you can see that Visual Studio Code is smart enough to add the import statement, at the same time give you some more information over here. Okay, so if I hover my mouse, you can see that it takes list of providers. So list of providers, I have to give something like this. Okay, and then I have to end colon, give a colon. So now I need to write something over here, right? So if you hover here, mouse here, you can see that it states single child widget. Let me go there. Let me go to single child widget, and you can see that it is saying that abstract class. If I go to implementations, you can see number of other things. Okay, but if you go to the documentation, they said that use change notifier provider. Okay, see, if you think about why I should use change notifier provider, the reason is simple. The guys who developed it has given change notifier provider is something you should use within this multi-provider. Okay, there is nothing like there should be some concept behind it why we should use change notifier provider. Okay, there is no concept like that. But not only change notifier provider, there might be other things also you can actually give, but in order to begin with provider, this is something what you should do. Okay, there might be other options also which we are not aware of. Okay, so I am going to use change notifier provider. I'm going to back to main.file and I'm going to use change notifier provider of, and I'm going to select this, and you can see that it also generates some code. What it requires something called create. So I will remove this null and again looks for code suggestions, and it says that it needs context. Okay, so even if you hover your mouse, you can say that it is a function. See, it is a function that takes build context and returns change notifier. Okay, so I am going to return a change notifier. Okay, so now I need to return something. Return, so change notifier is the current model. Okay, so it started throwing an error. It says that counter model doesn't extend change notifier. So let me go to counter model and then extend change notifier. Okay, so till this point we have passed this class to this change notifier. Okay, and then if you go over to multi-provider, it takes, okay, it takes for function build context. Okay, and then as part of passing a child, either you can use this function like function build context widget, or you can actually pass a child. Okay, so in order to make things easy, let me pass child only. So outside this change notifier, okay, so far good, no errors. Okay, so let me reload this and see if it is working fine or not. Okay, so working fine. So let me, so we're not calling this yet, right? We are not calling this yet. So now how we could trigger this increment? Okay, so how we trigger this increment is, okay, so this is the syntax for this: context dot read of, if you hover read, it takes t. T means like generic types, right? I can pass anything over here. What I will pass is, I will pass the counter model. Oh, sorry, counter model, and then dot increment. See, increment is a function from here. Okay, so in order to access this counter model function, this is how I did it. Okay, so this is the syntax you follow in all the apps wherever you want to use provider. Okay, so in the same way, in order to get a value over here, what I could do is like general string format. Okay, so whenever I want to give some integer or something, this is the sort of syntax I use. So here I have to pass the context dot, this time watch. Okay, read and watch, and then I have to give counter model type, and then I'm going to give what I should watch. Okay, so now the counter value is accessible over here. So let me change 1 and see if it works fine. Okay, you can see that this value is being accessible there. Okay, so change it to 1. Now again I change it to 0 and it is taken to. So far what we did was, we are able to access this value over here, and we are going to execute this function whenever this button is clicked. So let me add some print statement over here and see whether the increment is actually happening or not. Okay, let me reload it, open debug console, and you can see that the value is actually being incremented but not being shown here. Okay, this is being executed successfully, but this is not listening to that value. Okay, so in order to listen to it, what we should do is, we should add notify listeners of, and then once we add it, you can see that when the number changes, it is being displayed there. Okay, so this is how you write a, this is how you can actually use provider in your examples. Okay, so there might be a lot more which you can actually try. Maybe possible, like when you are actually writing your apps, you might come across multiple scenarios where you want to actually improve the way you code for your app. Okay, I will leave that those things for you guys. Okay, so in basic, this is how you actually use provider in your app. Okay, I think that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for joining. If you are having any queries, please let me know through WhatsApp. Okay, thank you.